Okay, so this is going to be one of your 15-minute glute activation exercises, routines rather. You can do this as a warm-up before you go out for a run, so it's a great session to do then. Or you can do it at any time you want to. Okay, so you need a small resistance band here. Okay, there's different tension resistance bands that you can get. I'm going to use this pretty easy one today because my glutes are a little bit achy from what I've been doing, but you can choose. So we're going to do the first round. So you have three options. You can go above the knees, which is the easiest. You can go onto the calves, the biggest part of the calves, which is medium level, and then onto your ankles, which is the hardest. If you're familiar with these type of routines and you want to do all three sets on your ankles, go for it. Okay, I'm going to do one set in each position. Okay, so what we're going to do is start with the feet wide, so you've got a little bit of tension on the bands. If you have a DMS mat, this really helps, but you don't need one. So you're going to step forward, heel toe. If you have the DMS mat, onto the right foot. Then you're going to come directly to the side. Okay. Then you're going to go back diagonal, toe, heel. Okay. We'll repeat this 10 times. So it's heel toe, side, toe, heel. Okay. Just keep that going. So when you've done all three, that's one. So I'm on 4 now. So to the side. And then back, and that's 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. You get the gist. And 10. Really important thing is that as you go back, as you go forwards, don't worry too much about what that leg does on the way forward, because that leg will have to go forwards a little bit. As you go to the side, just like we do when we do a monster squat, a monster walk, that's the one, but you don't let that leg go to the side, so you keep that leg still. And it's exactly the same as when you go backwards, you don't let that leg do that, okay? It stays still. The reason I repeat this over and over again, because even when I give this instruction, most people still do it wrong when I see them in person. So we don't let that leg do that. Keep that leg still. It's going to bend, that's fine, but keep it still as you go backwards. So heel toe, don't worry too much about what the leg does. Keep the leg still as you step to the side. Keep that leg still, center leg as you step to the back. Okay, 10 times. Now, if you're using the big DMS mat, the black and red one, don't worry if you don't get all the way to the boxes because it's a bigger mat and a bigger step. If you don't have a DMS mat, you just take as big a step as you can, but with control. So we're not like trying to go really, really far. That's not the goal. Just a step and back in. Oh my God, I have no idea what. I'm going to do 2 more after this. If you want to do a slightly smaller version of this pre-run, do sets of 5 on each side. Okay, right, you ready? You're going to go on to our calves now. You're going to repeat for 10. I forgot to check what time I started this. Need to make it 15 minutes, and I have no idea. Do about another 10 minutes. It might be that sets of 10 are just too much to start with. And you can start with sets of 5 and build up to 10. One more, I think. And we'll go to the kick in. Keep a gap between your feet as you step back, so otherwise the band shifts down, which is just annoying. Make sure it's heel toe on the way forward. It's really important. Toe heel on the way back. That heel toe that heel first, think about the way we walk, that helps activate the glute. It's a really important part of walking. When people start to land on their midfoot as they lose balance, you've really got to try really hard to try and restore that heel toe movement. Oh God, I think I've got one left. I'm sorry if I'm going over. Okay, and then the last set, you take onto your ankles. Now, you may not get all the way to the white foot on the DMS mat, that's okay. If that's too much and it's just burning way too much, take it up the band or choose a one with slightly less resistance. I wasn't going to bring this light resistance band with me because I thought, oh, probably not going to use it. I've kind of outgrown that band, but I've given my medium resistance bands away. I thought I better bring it just in case. I'm so glad I did because my glutes are killing. I've got 2 more. Problem is, I've lent out so much equipment to people, I've forgotten what I've lent to who. Hopefully they're all honest and they'll bring it back. If your glutes, I get this question a lot. If I'm really feeling this in my glutes, does it mean that my glutes are weak, or does it mean that it's a good thing my glutes are firing? It's a good thing that the glutes are firing. When you don't feel anything at all, that's when you need to do more of it. It's a good thing, I promise. I think I've got 2 more. Oh. Okay, take the band off. Okay, so that's glute activation. The next bit is glute strength. Okay, so you need 2 5-kilogram dumbbells. I'm going to use 3 just because my glutes are aching so much. So this is called diagonal step and tip. This is the last exercise we're going to do, but we're going to do 5 rounds of it. So I'll show you this way first. Heel toe, get the weight off the back foot, bend from the hips, keep the back straight, come back up. So if I show you from here, heel first, get the weight off the back foot. See how my toes are touching down, but there's no weight on them. I'm not going to bend the knee anymore now. It's a little bit soft. I'm going to bend from the hips to about here. And then I'm going to step back. Okay. What I see a lot of people doing is bending from the knee. That's not going to work. It's just going to hit your quad. Or they're bending way too low. Okay. You're just going to end up straining your lower back. So this is the movement we're looking for. Okay. Do 5 on each side for me. This is glute strength now. Done activation, and now we're going to strengthen. We're going to do 5 sets in total. Now, depending on how you feel holding the weights and how your back feels, you rest for 30 seconds between each set of 5 on each side. Because I've only got 3-kilogram dumbbells, I'll probably be all right to keep going. So I've done 5 on each side. You can put the dumbbells down, rest for 30 seconds or as long as you need, and then go back into it. I'm going to keep going with it today until I feel like I need a rest. Total is 5 sets of 5 on each side. Like, really think about your form. Make sure you unload that back foot. But when I say that, people end up lifting the back foot. It's not a single leg deadlift. The back foot is still in contact with the ground for me. Make sure on your front foot, your heel is down. I want your whole foot down, but in particular, I want the weight into the heel. Now you should hopefully really feel your glutes. Such a simple routine, and you probably won't have to watch this again. You'll remember it. Yeah, that's 2 sets. It may be that you want to start with 3 kilograms and not 5. You can go heavier. I wouldn't go any heavier than like 7.5, but first few times you do this, Just go with 5 max and get a feel for it. Hinging forward from the hips. It's minimal knee bend, just enough so that you're not locked out, because then you get the stability at the knee and the glutes don't have to work as hard. When you land in running, your knees should never be locked out. It should always be a little bit soft. If it's locked out, you're overstriding. And you really, really do not want to land on a locked out leg. It is a recipe for injury. I've seen some amazing overstrides in my time. One of the best ones was my own. And Mike likes to share it on running courses. So kind of him. I won't mind, but when he filmed that, I thought he had good run technique. I remember doing so many drills on overstride. God, it was hard to get. I used to film myself, run past, film myself, run past. Luckily, I'm pretty stubborn. When I've got something that I want to fix, I will just repeat. But it's really, it wasn't easy. It took a while to get that one. Here on my last set. But now when I go try to overstride it, oh my God, it feels awful. And I know some runners pick it up straight away. I'll say, right, land as close to your body as you can. They do it. I think, God damn it, that took me ages to get that. And then other runners just give up so easily, like, can't do it. I think, try a bit harder. Do you know how long it took me to get? And how long it took me to get my glutes to buy in? I think when you want it badly enough, you'll practice. I was a very injured runner and I wanted it badly. Okay, that's it. That's all I'm going to do. So you've got your 5 sets of this exercise, okay, with the band. 3 sets of 5 to 10 repetitions each side. And then you've got 5 sets of 5 of these each side, with anything from a 3 up to a 7.5 kilogram dumbbell in each hand. I suggest starting with 3 or 5 for the first few times. You can do this. This is a great warm-up to do before a run. If you're struggling with glute activation and you do my strength session on a Tuesday and a Thursday, and you have an hour is, I know, because I teach 45-minute classes, I shouldn't say this, but an hour, no, I'm only kidding, I never hide anything. An hour is better than 45 minutes. 45 minutes is great because you can fit it in and it works well for a lot of people. But if you have an extra 15 minutes, you gain a lot more from 60 minutes of strength. So if you can do something like this before the class, then, or after the class, before is better because you're activating the glutes, then it's a bonus. But it's only recent research that's come out, and it was on my last course earlier this year that Mike told us that 60 minutes is you get a lot better results. Something happens with the central nervous system that makes that 60 minutes, that last 15 minutes really, really count. Now, I thought about extending the strength sessions to an hour, but then I worry that people won't be able to fit them in. So you can message me with what you think, whether you want to do 45 or 60, because I'd be happy to extend it to 60 minutes, but we'll see what you guys think. Anyway, I wasn't planning on talking about that, but there we go. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good week or weekend, and thanks for doing this. Cheers, guys.